So hi everyone, my name's Mikey from ISCT TV, and I'm here with Sowmya, Viswanathan and Dan Weiss. Great to have you here in this vibrant city of New Orleans. So are you enjoying the conference so far?
Loving it, yeah.
It's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
What stood out to you the most about the conference so far?
There's been such great sessions. So many, too many to name, but I really enjoyed, actually the gene editing sessions have been really phenomenal with speakers like Fyodor, just like talking about like really exciting technology that I didn't even know existed, right? And like we're trying to make it a reality, trying to get it an umbrella FDA. So I thought those sessions were really interesting and exciting. And of course all of the MSc content, which is near and dear to my heart. So really enjoying that as well.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I think there's a palpable sense of excitement all around. I mean, these are tough times in a lot of ways, but cell and gene therapy is just forging ahead nonstop. I was blown away as well.
Yeah,
there
right?
were things with the gene editing, for example, that I had no clue was out there.
Yeah.
And it's just really amazing to see. But I think we're progressing on every front.
Yeah.
And the like, I mean, look at the MSCs when we finally got clinical approval.
Yeah,
FDA
that was a great
approval,
plenary. Yeah.
In the United States. And I see just a lot of really good growth areas that we, as an organization and as a community, are all over. So very exciting.
Absolutely, it's been brilliant. And just on that point, it's been a really exciting time for the MSc field with the approval of Ryoncil. So how do you think this has really impacted the field?
Well, I went to the MSc sessions, so there were 2 oral abstract sessions, right? And one of them was all clinical trials, so there was a lot of clinical data and evidence being presented, phase 2, phase 1, 2 trials, a lot more phase 2 trials, so it was very interesting and exciting to see them emerging. Also to hear from Sylvia, right, that they have more on their pipeline, other things that are in phase 3. So hopefully this is kind of going to break that whole, it's taken too long, mindset where a lot of other drugs have taken a long time and have gone through an iterative process, right? So it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. So hopefully it'll restore confidence. I think the approval in China this year was also another vote of confidence that came out. So I think a lot of people are talking about MSCs, MSc EVs obviously are always hot. But the sessions have been really good and very clinically focused, I thought.
Absolutely,
Right, Dan?
and I think the approval with the Mesoblast product, that's the kick in the pants we all need.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at all these years and all these basic science mechanistic insights we've developed, and why haven't the clinical trials been working? And this is an ongoing area of active investigation and thinking. But at the end of the day, we have several out there in the market, and so that's a boost to the scientific community. But realistically, it's also a boost for the investor community. People are going to say, "Hey, let's take another look."
Absolutely, it couldn't be a more exciting time for the field, really.
Yes.
So on that point, so I was an ASP on the MSc committee, enjoyed every bit of it. So I can contest that the MSc committee is a very active committee. So what projects have you planned for the year?
Here is the leader.
Yeah, here is the leader, exactly.
Well, but it's because we have such great people on the committee and we have monthly calls, but it's one of the best calls, right? Because everyone's looking forward to it.
Yes.
And we actually talk science now, so we have a set time to talk science, Mikey. So what do we have planned? Well, Dan and I we organized, along with the MSc committee, but also a lot of kind of other key opinion leaders, a really nice workshop, which was fantastic science to talk about what happens to MSCs after they're injected, right? So what happens to them in vivo. So I think we're going to be seeing, we've already got a draft of that paper, so we're going to be working on that and getting that out. Your paper we have to get that one out. I do have that for my plane ride back. So that one's also on there. And we already put out an editorial, or perspectives I should say, in cytotherapy this year about the Ryoncil approval and what it means for the field. So we're looking forward, but also looking at mechanisms, right, to really understand and come up with experiments that we could do as a community together to help advance the field, right?
Exactly. I mean, we've worked so hard for so long, and it's been incremental progress. And so with each iteration, the evolution of the MSc field, but not just MSc, with every facet of cell and gene therapy, but Sowmya and I are both MSc people, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think the concept of it's not just enough to focus on the preparation. What was your source? How did you manufacture it? How did you characterize it? That evil word, potency. How did you find that? But that all may be less important than what happens once the cells hit the body. And one of the things to elaborate on what Sowmya said is that the session we had about a month ago focused not just on systemic, so intravenous delivery of the MSCs, but there's a lot of push. And look at Sowmya's work with intra-articular, so compartmental, non-intravenous administration of MSCs, and in many respects it's a different game.
Yeah.
It's a different ballpark
Absolutely,
than the systemic.
Perfect. So
And maybe the ARDS, like the registry piece, right? Like that's something, I know we've been trying to work on that for a while, but to get that COVID ARDS, and I think there's some good progress and buy-in for getting data, access to data, right?
So just to elaborate on that, with trying to understand why some trials don't work, in addition to what happens to the MSCs once they've hit an in vivo environment, what that really means is what kind of patient are you trying to target, and what's their inflammatory phenotype, because we think that's going to significantly influence what the MSCs do. And so we have a project we've been working on for a number of years that you are now spearheading in terms of trying to retrospectively, but now prospectively as well, obtain not aggregate patient data, but individual patient data with the hypothesis that the inflammatory phenotype is going to predict the responsiveness to MSCs. So we're making good progress. You can imagine the HIPAA protection and the legal issues and the fact that we have reached out to...
Lots of challenges,
Yeah, a lot of challenges in the individual trials, all of whom are enthusiastic about participating, but the devil's in the details. So.
Perfect. So Dan, Sowmya, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming out, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks,
Excellent.
Mikey.
All right, thank you.